Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of me looking at stuff in Fallout 4. Now in this video I'm going to be covering some skills in Fallout 4 itself, but I'm also going to cover where the Abandoned Shack is more appropriately. In the last video I highlit it, but you couldn't really see it from the outside, so in this video I'm going to show it from the outside, but let me put on this first. That way I don't take too many rides while I'm outside. No, not custom destination, damn it. There we go. Fast travel, yeah. The area you just saw me in was Sanctuary. It's not super fortified like a lot of people, but it's got enough defenses that if anybody showed up, it would be devastating for them.
You stay here too long, we're gonna get sick.
No, we're not. I have a hazmat suit. You don't. Shut up. This is what the area looks like from the outside. This way you can see it. And when I get inside, I'll actually cover the skill point thing, or the attributes that I was talking about. I guess they are skill points. You got a crafting bench here if you want to use it. Pop the door. And in here you'll find these. You're going to need this. This one doesn't really matter. If you want to look at it, you can. You have to do it in your inventory, of course, because that's how the game is. I'm taking that hot plate, because I took that last time, and yeah. Okay, let's get inside here. And, I mean, you don't need the key if you want the experience from picking it. You might be able to, I've never tried. I've always just looted the key and went on about my business. But, yeah, when I load up in here, I'll cover the skill point thing, because you should know where I am if you watched the video about how to get the XO1 power suit. If you didn't, then, I mean, no harm, no foul. I'm in the area to get it if you were looking for that as well. So, this stuff. That's what it looks like. It's all rusty and terrible right now. But, okay, on to the skill points. Now, what I'm going to be covering in this is just, like, the basic early game stuff. Now, I have access to all skill points. You can see what I've spec'd into. I'll hover over them. This way, if you have the time, you want to like actually read them. I mean, you could probably just go over it. If you're looking at this one, you're probably playing the game. So the odds are you don't need me to do this. But some people are, you know, at work or something, and they just kind of do this. I mean, I can't say I don't YouTube at work, but I shouldn't YouTube at work. But I mean, sometimes. Cover that one again because I hit it real quick. Essentially, I'm going to hit my skills one more time, that way you can see where I've put my points in. And then you'll be able to identify just how I play. Truthfully, from looking at this, you can probably identify how I play. I play off of a basis of intimidate and pacify my enemies. And right here, you'll be able to see that I start up and have a bunch of stealth points. I have Gun Nut and Science maxed because I need that in order to do most of my modifications. Like if you have a Fat Man launcher, you have to have both Science and Gun Nut maxed out in order to upgrade it into a MIRV launcher, which I should probably go do. But okay. Now, early game, a lot of people I've seen put points into the weapon perks. Don't do that. You can if you really think that's all you're going to use. And I would honestly recommend against this one. Because, I mean, even at max, you're going to burn a lot of bullets. But, okay. Go on with what I was saying. Pickpocketing's not really an essential, but if you're planning to steal stuff to sell, I'd go for it. Lady Killer or Black Widow, as it is for the female side, I would pick up early, about as early as you can, because you do run into certain dialogue options relatively early. And I mean, you're also gonna want Gun Nut and or Science, and you're gonna want Scrapper, because it lets you get screws and aluminum copper from breaking down weapons. Now I play stealthy, so Sneak and Mr. Sandman are both kind of essential, as well as Ninja. And then if things get too hot, I have a means to pacify everything. So I'm not too worried about that. I can heal off radiation, which, I mean, if you get some of the higher ones, like I heal on radiation right here. I gain even more health with rads here, and then here I can actually have feral ghouls join my side. I only have the seconds here in this one, which the first one doesn't mean anything to me. The second one lets sunlight heal me, though, which is really nice. On one of my other characters, because I knew I was going to be using a lot of power armor, I used this, and I have tier 2 in it, and it does a lot of damage, but that's also my melee built character, which has the 4th tier of this. But yeah, like a lot of your early game stuff, you're going to want like passives. You're going to want this one, which will help you talk like with ladies or with men, depending on your sex. And that'll give you the option to pass certain speech checks, which give you XP, which is nice. You're going to want gun nut, you're going to want science, you're going to want hacker, and you're going to want locksmith, which that's like, what, five levels already taken right there. So by the time you're level 5, you should have all of those. You might want to put one in blacksmith if you're using melee weapons instead of gun nut or science, but that's a personal preference. You're probably going to want Aqua Boy by the mid game, because, or Aqua Girl as it is, because this lets you take no rads while you're underwater if you do the first port of it. A lot of people will take Mysterious Stranger, which I've seen be very, very good. Essentially, like your early game stuff, you're going to want anything to get you through doors, anything to get you additional speech checks. You're probably going to want local leader, because that'll let you run like your workshops somewhat together. And you can build stores. But if you're going to do the building stores thing, you're going to need at least 1 point in this, because then you can build a medic shop. I've never put a point in this. I've seen people use it. I can't say I find it really useful. Now, if you're planning to do a lot of buying and selling, you're going to want cap collector, but that's another personal thing. I don't use it because I don't do much buying and selling. I just kind of loot and move. But all of these are pretty well personal preference. Like if you use melee, you're going to want this. This is a relatively good one around the, like all around, with no matter how you play. This one's relatively good as well, the Grim Reaper Sprint, but that's a whole nother, can of worms. Now, Night Person's really good if you plan to do a lot of sneaking in the dark, because it lets you see in the dark. But I mean, there's a ton of good perks in this, but main ones that you're going to want to work on are gun nut, science, hacking, locksmith, armor, and or blacksmith, like one of all 4 or 3 of all 4. Some variety of all 4 of those you're going to need if you're planning to keep up with late game enemies, because I was using a base pistol a little while back against some super mutants and almost died because of it. I have these two working in combination so that I can get healed off of rads and regen out of rads, and then I have my pacification perks. But I mean, in truth, let's say you're a loud and proud kind of player, you prefer blowing shit up, you're going to want scrounge, because you're going to need to find a shitload of ammo, because heavy weapons burn through that shit fast. Then you're going to want to max this out. Then you're probably going to want to max this out, because heavy weapons are exactly that, they're heavy. And you're probably going to want to max this out too, because this will give you the option to carry power armor with you at all times. But I'm going to mosey on down here and hit this armor. If you want to stick with me during that, you can, but I'm going to do my outro. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, I just kind of went over the basic skills real quick that you might need early if you're planning to play.
Whoever or whatever you are, I know you'll...
Okay, he's dead as hell. But if you're planning to play, like, a lot of early game stuff, then you're probably going to want that. Oh, Jesus, I want this, but I don't want it, because... Mark II. S-script. Load back. But, yeah, this has been me talking about, random shit about the skills. Because basically, if you want certain skills, it's more so up to you than it is up to anybody else about how you spend them. Fallout's all about that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, you want to play stealthy, here's your stealth stuff. If you want to play loud, here's that. If you want to play all the way back, you can. It doesn't really change how you play. But, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. If you found this useful or insightful, drop me a like, subscribe, all that goodness, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
An enemy may be utilizing stealth. How interesting. Contact detected. Possibly.
Oh well, fuck, wrong thing.
A suspect.
Okay. So it's worse. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.